Archers, attack! Keep firing! Let none escape! Another down! Do not relent!
Welcome to another rousing and titillating episode of Another Pod, Do Not Relent. I'm Slidewhistle, the whistle of slides.
I am the Zation of Immune, and I thought you were going to say that this was going to be an arousing episode of DNR. I was like, oh.
My name is Nora A. Wink. I used to write little stories about Nora A., who was a close friend of mine, and be like, people can never understand the intricacies that have gone into this naming convention. And I guess if I'm Fire Mage Extraordinaire Horde Punching Bag, then Nora A. consequently would have to be Alliance Punching Bag, Arcane Mage, Spectacular.
Honestly, not half bad. Quarter bad, maybe?
I'll take quarter bad. You know, for something off the cuff. I am just so sorry. I'm looking at this meme you have put in host chat. This man is covered in green slime. Do we think this is a Goofenheimer thing or a fetish thing?
Which meme did I put in host chat?
Well, it was like last week, but yeah.
Yeah, it was a man covered in green slime, but he seems to be in the nude, so I don't know. This seems pretty serious, but he's covered in green goopers, and it says Fiona on her wedding night.
Well, so, you know, when you get Shrek'd, you get Shrek'd. Much like the World of Warcraft Shrek themselves, when they tried to upload their WoWcast episode 1 to YouTube, I sat down and I was like, okay, I'm curious what they're calling a podcast, since we are professionals in the podcast sphere, and it was, of course, a sit-down couch talk, which...
So, like an interview?
Yeah, basically, but also they broke the video. So, like, all you could hear is loud music over nothing.
Yeah, I caught part of it, like, while it was still... I think it was one of those ones that started as, like, a YouTube live type deal. So their audio was fine then, but at some point when they converted it from, like, YouTube, like, live to posting it like after the fact, they just messed it up to like you cannot hear the audio at all, right? It's just loud background music.
Yeah, I was watching it by reading subtitles, but I mean it was working, but I'd rather, you know, if I can hear them speak, I'd rather hear them speak.
I mean, streaming technology has never been their forte. Who can forget BlizzCon Line and their wild inability to use push to talk? They're slowly learning. Maybe 2042, they'll get a grip. They'll get a hang of it.
They should leave podcasting to the professionals and or use us. Hey.
Yeah, they should just buy us out. I will show up and I will just... Except you have to have me on camera. Ian, Steve, Holly, you guys can still be the talent. Just have me, I don't know, like pushing a broom or doing the groundlings... making a cake thing in the background. That's all I ask for my expertise.
Listen, we all know that if there's video, it's not a podcast. Everyone needs to stop calling these things podcasts.
Yeah, seriously. There's a vodcast or a vidcast or a podvid or a vidpod.
Anyways, like this WoWcast, I think did they actually call it a podcast or did they just call it WoWcast and we assumed that they were inferring that it was a podcast?
Hey, if it's got cast in it, you know exactly what you're asking for, bucko.
Anyways, there were only like a few like interesting tidbits at the end where they were asking the two WoW devs, I forget their names. I think one of her names was like Maria or something like that. But like they're people that like I think I've seen like once or twice. Anyways, there are a few key bits that like were of note. To me personally, the most interesting tidbit was saying that like, oh, first off, I will say they were asked like what stories we can look forward to coming up in like beyond 10.1 even, and they said that we are going to get further conclusion to the Bronze Dragonflight storyline, in particular like in reference to like Murazan and Nozdormu, but then also Chromie and an evil version of herself called Morkai.
Oh, it's pronounced Morkai?
I was looking at it and I was like, excuse me, is this motherfucker's name Morchi?
Okay, so
No, it's Morchi. She's super tall.
You know, the thing is, like, she said it, and it was very much so like a Urel thing. She pronounced it in a way where I was like, that's not how I would pronounce it. So honestly, and I can't go back to check because the audio is like so fucked up. So like, I don't know. I probably mispronounce it now, but like, there's literally no way for me to check.
Morchi. So evil Chromie, that's fun. So I'm assuming she's hanging out with Murazan, obviously. You know, her probably right hand evil general, or his.
Interesting that, and I don't mean to throw shade on my good friend Crozdormu. Interesting that she would be the one to be like Murazan's left-hand man. Chromie's really cool, but I kind of thought she was like a little youngin' like we were.
Well,
Isn't
no,
there another
I
bronze?
No, she's like an established, like, she's like his apprentice.
Hmm.
Like Chromie as well is.
I guess you know what, that is right. I'm trying to think of bronze dragonflights, and there are a lot of guys kind of just hanging around, but none of them have any real claim to power.
Well, because they had like the whole falling out where like, you know, I'm sure a lot of the more established ones became infinite, so.
That's very true. And my man Norzdomu did just 23 Skidoo for a while, so probably a lot of bronze dragonflights are like, skip this.
We don't need this one. We've already seen this.
You know, and they can just skip entire storylines by going literally anywhere else in time if they don't want to be there.
It must be so annoying to watch a movie with a bronze dragonflight member. Oh man, this part's gonna be so good.
You even conceptually, you're like, oh my god, they're making like another Transformers, and they're like, oh, that one's terrible. Galvatron, he totally kills Magornicon, and it's like, the movie's not even out. They just came up with the idea. It's like peaked in a time window, doesn't end up good.
We have
Save
to
your money.
ask Chromie how many Fast and Furious movies are coming our way. What's the grand total we reach?
They claim that this 11th one, which is the 17th one, if you include Hobbs and Shaw,
Jesus.
is the last one. And I think maybe it is, if only because like half the people who make them shoot at each other with guns now. The Rock straight up like punched Terrence something's mom.
In the movie? Wow, Fast and Furious got crazy.
Yeah, and he flew a tank. No, in real life, they had like a beef, and it's like getting too serious.
Okay, well, anyways, like, that was like the main thing. She also did confirm that Galakrond is returning. Like, she said all of this in approximately like 30 seconds. Everything that I'm going to say is like, is not expounded upon and is very quick. Okay, so like, we're getting Evil Chromie. There is Galakrond returning. Iridikron's ultimate plan will be revealed. The Green Dragonflight story will continue. There's also encrypted Embers of Neltharion storyline for another Dragonflight. It was worded in that way, so I don't know what that means. And then they're like, we obviously can't talk about, and then just did this very long, like, bleep censored thing.
So, okay, I guess it's kind of weird that they would just casually announce Galakrond being back this way. I feel like there's a million ways you could have done it, and to just casually drop it in a WoWcast that, you know, we can't even hear now is kind of goofy.
It's one of those things where it's like, did people assume it would happen? Yes. But is it still important that you lead up to it and give it its own like weight in the narrative? Yeah. For Ian just to be like, and there he goes, he'll be back, is like, come on, man. Like, respect your story a little bit, please.
The thing is, it wasn't even Mr. Hazuko. It was like two other devs.
I think Morgan Day was there, and he's like a big dev. So I guess it's fine if he was there. I don't know the name of the other one. I forget. So, okay, so wait. So was there anything else? That was it, right? It was Galakrond and Evil Chromie, Morkies.
That's basically it. And then implying that Iridikron has plans beyond past what we will be seeing.
Which makes
So
sense.
I'm a darn fool. You said this is the first episode of the WoWcast. Is this a brand new endeavor? Is this something they've done before? Is this...
It's a brand new thing. They also hyped it up as it being its debut, so I assume that this is going to be a reoccurring thing. I don't know if it'll be like at the beginning of each patch they'll release an episode, or if this will be like once every few months or what. I'm not sure.
It's basically just a round table. Like, they used to do round table. They're just, like, reformatting it and just changing things around, probably.
It's
just to
the
figure out
same
what
thing they
sticks.
do in
Yeah.
all the announcement trailers now, where it's like, we're going to be flying through so many crazy places. And you talk to like 3 guys from the environment team, and it's like, who knows the magical treasures we'll find in the Scara vaults. And now we talk to like 4 prop artists.
It basically just looked like it was a bunch of devs sitting on, like, the Jimmy Kimmel show, but with, like, WoW in the background instead of Jimmy Kimmel.
Just some guy doing his dailies. Just
This is
some
really
WoW
working.
in the background. It's like, can you do something more interesting, Jim? And he rolls his eyes and just gets on a dragon. It's like, oh, thank you.
Well, Jim might be happy with this Dragonflight news. So, okay, so I know they also alluded to green Dragonflight story, right? Like that was a thing. Now, I don't remember where I saw this. I think I was looking at data mine cutscenes for the next expansion or for the next patch. Sorry, next patch, not expansion.
I was like, what do you know that we don't know?
And if you don't want to know this, then put your spoiler headphones on for 10 seconds or longer. I don't know. Seems like they put our girl Marithra upstairs. She joined the other dragons. So you know how there's the dragons sitting in Valdrakken all together?
Yeah, so Marithra is going to be up there with them now?
Yeah, I think she's the chosen representative of the Green Dragonflight. Like, she is the one to lead them. And Ysera's just like, I'm the tree in Pocahontas.
Well, which, yeah, we already did know that because of the storyline that we experienced, like, in this current patch where, they hug, and then she's like, my daughter, you are now the leader of the flight.
Yeah, it really sounds like Ysera has some stuff to do. So she's like, I'm in the human realm to do some stuff, but as soon as that's over, I'm going back and letting Malfurion come home. So it makes sense that she left her daughter in charge because Marithra still owns an apartment here.
Yeah, dude, she can't break that lease. She can't afford it.
She said, I live in fear, champion, that they'll raise the rates. So I signed a 10-year lease. Oh, the chains that bind you, my daughter.
And the Marithra is like, Mother, you do not understand how much rent inflation has been going on here in Valdrakken.
Ever since the heroes showed up, they gentrified the shit out of this place. There's a troll coffee shop on every other corner now.
What do you guys think the bleep storyline was? I'm thinking it's Khadgar based. I think it's about time. Right, we were getting Khadgar hints, but we haven't gotten anything in a while.
They did this in the live stream, right?
Yeah, I honestly got the vibes
and it's
that
a joke.
No, the thing is, what's funny is that it wasn't even a live stream, Aaron. This thing was, they pre-recorded this and they posted it to YouTube, and their audio still got fucked up.
That's terrible. I thought this was a live stream that you guys were watching the VOD later.
No.
That's terrible that they fucked it up. Blizzard.
Well, I mean, like, by that I meant, like, it was that thing where, like, with the other trailers where they're like, we're showing it now. So, like, I caught parts of it while it was them showing it for the first time, and it was air quotes live.
A YouTube premiere of a pre-completed video. Okay. Well,
yeah, but also I agree with you.
Worse,
it sounded like it to me. The vibe was that it was a joke and that they didn't actually say something. But I don't know. I mean, like, obviously there is another huge story spoiler because the game isn't ending.
Or is it? Could that be the spoiler? We're going into WoW 2. We're going into Mom.
Ooh, we're going into Mom. We're gonna flip the script to a softer, more gentle World of Warcraft. Mom. The Morald of Moorcraft. There's more to do in the Morald.
And, PvE will be coming eventually.
There will be no PV anything. Things are nice in Mom. You just coexist. It's like a dating sim now.
One thing that I was able to discern from the poorly mixed video was the subtitles were saying that they've never made a zone like the Zeralet Caverns before, in that it's layered upon layered. Like, they haven't done layered zones like this, which I'm sitting here like, y'all didn't consider High Mountain a layered zone? What the fuck are these caverns gonna be like then?
Well, I assume that they're implying to the fact that, like, this is an area that is huge, and it's physically directly below Valdrakken and, like, all of that zone, right?
Yeah, so when you go outside in the Dragon Isles, it'll load a lot more now because it has to load an entire extra spot.
Uh-oh.
And they also said that, like, there's no loading screens when you fly down there. So, like, yeah, Aaron's right. Like, it technically probably is loaded while we're just chilling in Valdrakken.
Your Windows 7s are going to be exploding now because you thought the Dragon Isles was big enough? Now it's going to count for like 17 Niffins sneezing down there.
Oh my god, dude! They talked about Niffins so much. I mean, how could they not? But there's been a bunch of interviews with random, like, who sports Kita? Is that a person or is that a brand?
I don't know, but like this was the classic, like a patch is coming out and then Mr. Hazuko made his like media tour. Although, unfortunately, I could not find any Korean-based interviews and articles because those ones always provide the real tea, you know?
Ian goes sloppy toppy when when he's talking to the people on the other side of the world. My man is letting all the secrets fly.
So we got a lot of shit from this. Okay, let's start from the top of this list, right? Number 1, they talked about character freedom. Ian says, more freedom of approach is something that the team has been steadily moving towards over the last couple of years. Realizing mid-Shadowlands that they need to listen to what players were telling them about how they approach the game. Okay, wait, mid-Shadowlands. Are we in Korthia? Is that when they're listening to us? Or are we in before Korthia?
I mean, mid-Shadowlands, I feel would be like Korthia just came out. They kind of know that they're shifting away from Shadowlands. They're giving up. So it's like, well, let's listen to the people getting ready for the next one.
I feel like mid would probably be like, what, the Sylvanas raid and like the Dami Mami shards?
Ooh, God.
I guess because we were stuck in 9.1 for forever. So that's probably the timeline where we are.
And then he basically just says the Dragonblight was built with all friendliness and catch up in mind and very respectful of players' time. And I will agree. I do not think we've played a expansion that was not so generous to our time. Like this is like pretty nice.
I'll always say, and I think I said it at the beginning of Dragonflight, it is incredibly, thankfully generous to my time. However, I'm a nasty boy who's willing to have his time wasted.
Yes. We are nasty children, and I'm mad because all my friends in the guild and who play WoW, they're free to roam around, and I'm sitting here like, when are they gonna log on and play with me? Where are they at?
I will say, like, the generosity of it has kind of made me feel like I don't have to do certain things, even though, like, in the past I would probably be doing those things. So, like, for instance, like, this last week, I finally now just finished killing, like, rares and doing some other achievements in the Forbidden Reach. I'm like, I guess I should finally get around to like starting to finish up these achievements now that we're almost at the end.
Yeah, doing the tour.
I've just given up. I'm just ready. Forbidden Reach, you are great. I respect what you did. I'll see you in about a year when Dragonflight is over and I need something to do.
Well, if you need something to do in a year, maybe you can go pick up another Onyx amulet. Ian says, the Onyx... Also, guys, hang on. Can we freeze? Is it amulet? Is that what it is? Or is it a ring?
It was... You
how-
wear it in your ring slot.
Yeah, I mean, it is a ring, but I think they call it an amulet.
Get this. I'm just now realizing for the first time, it's not amulet. It's anulet. ANNULET. What the
Excuse
fuck
me?
is an
What?
onyx? It's an amulet. What does that mean?
I'm live Googling here.
Oh,
Amulet,
fuck.
a small fillet or band encircling a column, a charge in the form of a small ring. Yeah,
Wait,
so
so-
it's a magical small ring is an amulet.
You're telling me that we all thought it said amulet, and we were just like, yeah, okay, that's fine. Because the two ends next to each other looks like an M?
I didn't know what the fuck this thing was called. They gave me Onyx ring. I slapped it on my ring slot, and I never thought about it again.
And the only reason I noticed it was because there was two amulets stacked on top of each other, and like, wait, is that 4 ends I'm looking at? If it was just there one time, I probably wouldn't even have caught it. We're probably the first people in the world to notice this. Give us
Or
credit, Ian.
we're the last.
No way, no way. Vegemite called it amulet 2 days ago. I know for a fact we're not the last. Okay, anyway, sorry, back to the Onyx Amulet. Ew. The Onyx Amulet is not going to be instantly obsolete, but there are no plans to add new gemstones or upgrades, so it'll be mostly obsolete, is what I'm hearing from the Onyx Amulet.
Well, like, it won't be instantly obsolete because nobody's gonna... They aren't gonna, like, just give you a ring as soon as you log on, but the first time you loot a ring, it'll probably be obsolete.
What I'm hearing is I get to pick my favorite magic stones that I've acquired in these months, and the other 30, I get to flush down the turlet.
I've already started flushing them, but my favorite thing in this article is that then the rest of the Onyx Amulet part is just Ian describing borrowed power and what borrowed power is and why people need to stop talking about it so much, basically. He's like, borrowed power is a term for parallel progression, tier, or expansion spanning systems. He just goes on.
Mr. Ian, we know what borrowed power is. Trust me, it's been a decade. We know.
The best part is that he says, in the most literal sense, all items are borrowed power. A season-1 trinket from the raid is used for a while.
He is malding. He is so mad.
He's like, stop.
You don't hold on to your green rings when you first get them, so isn't that power borrowed?
He's like so triggered because like people have been so mad about it for so long that like even when nobody even says that these rings are borrowed power, he's just getting ahead of himself to be like, there's not borrowed power.
I guess I get it, because it's probably the single behind player housing, the single most heard phrase that they hear about is borrowed power, right? But he's like, this isn't borrowed power. And then like I also know that time gating. People will say time gating for everything, even though it's not actual time gating. It's like people say gaslighting for like lying now, basically. He talks about Dragonflight mini games. He says that they like the hunts and the feasts and the explorer rock climbing, and that they're going to have large scale public scenarios called Researchers Under Fire, in which players will help them acquire research and survive against the Jarradin.
I wonder if it's just protecting an NPC, just like kill a percentage of Jarradin and then we move on. Or if they'll do something more interesting with it. Considering he's directly citing minigames when he does this, maybe it won't be a snoozer.
My favorite thing to do with these interviews and patch notes is like try to figure out, okay, is this going to be like Island Expeditions or is this going to be like the Mage Tower? Am I going to do this thing once and be like, fuck this is stupid? Or am I going to be like, this is cool? Usually I feel like it's the first one, right? They have a lot of silly things that are like nothing.
Yeah, and I feel like honestly what has been described here is basically going to be what Aaron just said, I think. But like speaking of like mini game type things, in one of his interviews, Ian also mentioned that they're going to be having this Niffin event or quest. I couldn't really get a sense of it. I think it's like a solo content called Sniff and Seek, where you have this little Niffin with you named Mirret, and you go through these underground caverns and try to find treasures.
I would imagine it's archaeology. They don't do archaeology anymore, so it's been repurposed for Sniff and Seek.
It says Sniff and Seeking, which operates kind of like cave diving for treasure. It's kind of like an escape room digging into an underground cave, which could have treasure chests and puzzles to solve, and our happy little Niffin buddy Merritt helping sift out for clues. Merritt?
Shut up.
Oh, my Big Brother 3? Oh, not, what number is it?
I think it's 3, yeah.
Merritt?
I appreciate you for enlightening me, because I was sitting here with the audience being like, huh? I was like, I'll wait for context from these boys.
There's 25 people out there clapping at the Merritt reference, trust me.
All I know is I am very happy that this third spec for Drakthir is coming in 10.1 as well as their extra customizations.
That's actually not the case. Ian specifically said,
what the
fuck
hell?
you guys.
Why make them? Why make them if I don't get extra armor pieces in a third specification?
Aaron got his wish. Aaron said, if evokers get a third spec, I want a fourth spec. And if they don't get one, then I don't get one. And they didn't get one after Aaron made his statement.
Yeah, so basically Ian confirmed that we are not getting a third evoker spec, at least not in 10.1. It was worded in a way where, like, eventually, but, like, I don't know.
Now, do we think it'll be just based on nothing? Do we think it'll be story-based, where it's like, you've unlocked the knowledge to be a ZPS? Or do we think it'll be like a 10.3.7 thing, where it's like, we're wrapping up soon. Here's a little bitty extra thing before we're done here.
By this point, I'm so jaded with this stuff that I feel like it's not coming at all. I don't think a third spec is coming. Only because this last paragraph says, expanding class spec options is something that they discuss internally a lot, and maybe something that they pursue down the road at some point, because it's a fun idea. That sounds like, it's like ages away, right? That didn't sound like it's even coming as expansion.
And it's not something that needs to be expected. Like, I don't know what you would do, but Demon Hunter still has 2, and it's had 2 since 2016.
Yeah, and like they've never introduced a spec or a class and then given it a spec later. That's never happened before. And I can only imagine how much shit that would fuck up like behind the scenes with all their strings and stuff, you know? Also, I'm sorry, we have to go back really quick to Sniff and Seeking because there's fun cosmetics to be getting. One of them is the title, Smelly. We need that.
Damn. Smellization.
Smelly bye. Oh my god, if you can get asshole, smelly asshole, think of the nastiest swear word you get smelly in front of it.
I'm just pissed that Smelly threw the snail games and let Rocky take the number 1 spot. I put all my money on Smelly.
It's okay, Rocky. You can take your time.
She's a thoroughbred.
Squidward. Tortellini. He answered a boring question about single target versus AoE balancing. I really don't care about that, so I didn't read that, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I didn't add it to my notes that I took about any of these interviews because I also did not care.
I want to talk about the next step, which is apparently cross-faction queued content.
Oh yeah, fuck.
Yeah, so he was asked about, like, you know how, like, we're getting cross-faction guilds, and
The faction imbalance is slowly corroding, and they're taking so much from me. Soon we'll all be... World of Warcraft will all be one big hug box. Ugh.
well, more so the fact that, like, I guess it's buggy in the sense that, like, you need to be friends with or part of a community with somebody of the other faction to invite them to a guild, because technically I believe the guild is still listed as whatever faction the leader is.
Yes. So you could have a faction leader be alliance and then have like a bunch of horde join and then it's an alliance guild, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I believe so. And then like yeah, I mean like it has been something that we've noticed too, where like we can do mythic plus dungeons with hordes, but we can't queue for time walking with hordes, which is weird. So I'm glad that that is the next thing that they're addressing.
Yeah, it'll just make all sorts of LFG, LFR type content a lot easier to do, because for a lot of people who aren't doing mythics and stuff like that, this faction equality was never really seen, because they're like, well, I don't see them in my daily normal dungeons. So there you go. Throw some elves in there too.
I honestly don't believe that we're not getting a loading screen for the caverns. Is Veldraken gonna load? Like, am I gonna be able to log into Veldraken?
I think it's going to be rough. I think shit's going to chug. I think if you are on a less than standard computer, you're going to have a tough time. That, or they do the Spyro the Dragon thing, where the tunnel into 10.1 land will be very foggy. And as you go through the fog, that's it loading it bit by bit.
Gross.
I mean, and as long as it's still seamless, it makes sense. But something tells me they're going to have to do something like that, because doing the entirety of 10.1 loaded on top of everything else is like, that's too much.
Have we said the phrase, this patch goes live next week yet? Within these 30 minutes we've talked about this? Because it's next week. Next Tuesday it comes out.
I mean, we haven't today, but like in the last several episodes, we've mentioned the date. But yeah, like most of our listeners listen to this, like obviously, like either the day it comes out Friday or on Monday the following week. So like if you're listening on Monday, this patch drops tomorrow.
Yeah, so fucking get ready. Like, get out there, and I'm telling you guys, you want to do the Forbidden Reach achievements. I know you don't want to. I know you don't, but you could be the Forbidden One. What a good... sorry, the Forbidden, not the Forbidden One, the Forbidden. Still good. Still real good. I'm done. I'm done with the fucking Shakira vaults. I don't have the bronze spec because I don't think it exists, but I finished everything else achievement-wise in there.
You say that, but the ever-inflappable, always playing Miss Cormac got it yesterday.
She did?
And she said, finally, I've been looking for it for months.
Oh my god.
And I said, congratulations, and then proceeded to kill Furbolgs.
You know, because that's the thing, like, I haven't seen this spec either. Like, are we just unlucky, or is it, for some reason, is drop rate really low? Because, like, I'm gonna have to, like, go back there eventually to try to find it, I guess.
I don't know. It's just a little brown elephant. I don't know. Like, they didn't even make me want to try.
It's brownish-greenish elephant.
Oof.
He's moss covered. It's in the name, silly.
Well, I mean, I also need to go back anyways because I still need to open like something stupid like 5 more doors for that achievement.
Oh, then you can be the Keymaster, and that's a fun title.
Yeah. That's also part of the forbidden one, right?
Yes, it is. The most annoying one, honestly, is Scroll Hunter. I'm sick of Scroll Hunter. We can talk about that later, though. Wink, wink.
Also, it's really funny. I messaged you guys because we remembered that like we kind of scaled back on rating a little bit, which is where I would get like a lot of my points for the trading post for those tendies. So this week I realized, oh, the month's almost over and I'm only like 550 out of 1,000. So I had to do a bunch of weird shit to try to get like the rest of my tendies, including, did you guys do the weird one where you have to like / bounce on a bunch of critters?
No, I don't do weird ones.
Can't say that I have, especially because they're worth like 5 points. Like it's like smile at a horde NPC, 2 points. I was like, no, I'm okay. That takes more
this
time.
One was like
than
100 or so. It was 100 because you had to / bounce on like it's something like 12 different critters across the entirety of the Dragonflight zone, like and all of them. But like there are also the ones that you had to / love for that achievement. So I was doing both at the same time.
Oh yeah, because I saw you out. He got an achievement for like loving on critters, and I said, "Congrats, weirdo! What the hell is going on? What are you doing? Like you're hugging pets now?"
I can't believe you went out there on main and you / bounced multiple times and then / loved a critter and let everyone see. I would go into do not disturb away mode if I was you.
Well, so like the weird thing is like who fucking uses / bounce anyways? Because like it's a moat when you do it.
Me,
it just says
I'm a moon guard.
Oh yes, Daddy.
I mean, I guess because like it basically just says you bounce excitedly for, and then like whatever the thing you targeted.
If you play a night elf, does it make you do the bouncy little move?
You know, we can only hope. I mean, chances are the Night Elf will already be doing that because you know they fucking love to do that every like 10 seconds anyways.
Oh my god.
If you play as a Pandaren, does it put you on top of a medium tall cliff and then you fall and take less fall damage because that move is called bouncy?
Yes, exactly. Like it autopilots you to the nearest cliff, but like one that won't kill you, you know?
Exactly, yeah. For a normal person, it does half damage. For you, 40. Speaking of animal people who recently fell off cliffs, here's Growlina. I bet you all thought you could sneak out of here without a visit from good old Growl. Well, too bad. I'm back, and I'm ready to interview. I'm here on the shores of the Dragon Isles with Pedder Group. Ped, by this time next week, we'll be ankles deep in lava and fire giants. So my question is this. Have you seen the tall lava dogs yet?
Tall lava dogs? What are those?
I'll give you a second. Look them up. Look up 10.1 lava dogs and let me know your first reaction.
Yeesh, what the fuck are these? What were these designers smoking?
Something frightening, I can assure you. One's body should not be so intensely leg-based.
Now I get to think about these creepy guys walking around for the next week. So thanks for that, I guess.
It's my duty, friend. When you're top dog like me, you gotta always stay vigilant on your turf. Speaking of staying vigilant, hey you, on your computer, listening in the shower, or on your daily commute, keep paying attention, because we've got like 30 more minutes of content, and you don't want to miss that. Thanks, Growl. That gave me just enough time to drink another high noon. This one is passion fruit based.
It's high noon.
I'm drinking a beatbox. Mark Cuban made these. He sponsored my Shark Tank, and it says the world's tastiest party punch. Try it frozen. I am.
Yeah, they're like adult juice boxes, effectively.
All juice boxes are adult juice boxes
Thank
if
you,
you just
thank
have
you.
enough confidence.
Same with Lunchables.
By that, I meant they have alcohol in them.
My juice boxes had alcohol in them when I was a kid because I was tough. It put hair on my chest, just like corn.
Put corn on your chest?
No, when we would have dinner, we'd have like main and sides, and corn would be there. And my dad jokingly was like, "Eat the corn; it'll put some hair on your chest. It's roughage. It's good for you." But I didn't want to have hair on my chest, so I was like, "No way!" So I didn't eat corn for like 6 years.
It's so funny.
Then I started eating corn, and anyone who's seen me knows a lot of hair on that chest. Guess it was the corn.
The body can't even digest corn. It just kind of passes through. So it kind of doesn't do anything for us for the most part. All that cellulose.
The one thing that it does on the way to my butt was put hair on my chest, and that's why I am the way I am.
And that's why the week of May 9th, Raid Finder Week 1 comes out.
Embers of Neltharion. It puts some hair on your chest.
Normal, Heroic, and Mythic will also open on May 9th. That's so crazy. 1 week after we get our hands on this patch, everything is opened.
Well, yeah, which like this is a lot of firsts because like normally LFR starts opening up like what, a fucking month it feels like after the other ones, and then Mythic normally doesn't start for at least like a week or two, right?
Yeah, so like, however, I will say LFR, I don't know, maybe they could have done a better schedule because LFR is bizarre. Week of May 9th is Raid Finder Week 1, normal, heroic, and mythic, blah, 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 right? Then the week of May 23rd, that's right, 23rd is when Raid Finder Wing 2 opens. June 6th is Raid Finder Wing 3, and June 20th is Raid Finder Wing 4. Holy shit, that's a long time.
They're basically like, each of these wings will take you guys 2 weeks to complete, right?
And like, I mean, honestly, that's probably the way to do it, because then people can't just send their alts through the best ones to get gear early on, right? If people want to get the Raid Finder story, they're going to get it eventually. And boy, howdy, are you guys going to have to work for it, because that's going to be brutal. We have all the tier sets here. I'm basically just going through the patch notes. Have we even discussed the tier sets yet? I don't know if we have.
No, not to my knowledge.
I mean, I think some people on the Discord posted like pictures of them over like the last week or so, which you can join our Discord by going to donotrelent.com.
Yeah. This is the set where the paladin and the priest sets are quote unquote swapped, and the paladins want their thing back.
Okay, so I am looking at all of these now, and I don't think we've talked about them, but I do think we have seen them before. I'm just going to say it for Mage. It looks pretty good, looks pretty cool. Weird that they don't have a man in this picture. He is the only one that it's an empty set of clothing.
The rogue one is too, but yeah, it's weird, right? It's like there's no hands.
But I'm just going to say really shoulder top heavy. I would appreciate a dress. I'm the rare guy who said, let's get some dresses.
No.
Especially because the tier set for Vault of the Incarnates was also pants based.
I agree with you with this mage set. The pants don't look right with the top. It's like it's kind of cut off. It looks kind of weird, right?
Yeah.
Hear me out, guys. Like, why don't they just allow chest pieces to be cut off at the waist like they do with tabards? Just have 2 available. Because, like, all the sets normally have pants anyways. It's just like when it's a dress, you don't get to see them unless you mog differently.
And also, sometimes they do that. Like, Vault of the Incarnates had the weird not tier set, and that was a dress. So I guess maybe they're like, tier is this one and this one only, but we'll also give you this alternate set that just looks different, mix and match.
Now, I also want to point your attention to something here. I don't know why they did it this way. Maybe they picked the coolest looking sets, but if you notice, these all aren't the same tier. For Hunter set, they're showing the heroic version. Then for Monk, Demon Hunter, and Evoker, there's no tag. So are those the normal version? Aaron, the mage set you're looking at is actually the mythic version, which means that the heroic version is going to be a lot lamer. Probably won't have as cool shoulders.
Well, actually, I will say that they recently have not been doing that. And I don't know if that's just Vault of the Incarnates, but if you go and check Vault of the Incarnates, only colors are different. And I don't know why, because that's never been the standard ever. But they have like one specific set and they just change colors now.
Well, it's unfortunate because I really want to get my rogue this fucking sick ass shredder set. Look at that. It's like fucking Shredder from fucking Turtles. It's so cool.
This really is, what is his name? Orochi. What is Shredder's real name?
Shredder. Robert Shredder.
It's definitely Robert Shredder. Orokusaki. Orokusaki. This is full on Orokusaki energy.
It's just Shredder. It's awesome. And the only thing I have to say about this is the warrior set makes me think about bringing hay, because that you are a plated this Dragon Knight from Dota. It's just Dragon Knight with cool. I want this shit. It's awesome. He has little tiny petite feet though. We can make the feet a little bigger, but other than that, it's good.
Yo, I cannot stop looking at some of these models just like not actually having models. And, like, I did not notice it until you guys brought it up, but like now I cannot stop staring at like those gloves that are just like not on anything.
It's really weird.
I gotta say, I feel for you, Death Knights out there, because this guy, that's just from last expansion. And I know Death Knights,
right?
Death Knights can only do so much because they are like these gray and blue guys. But this is just like the jailer's armor, which is fine. That was neat enough, but it seems really, really weird next to everyone else to just have this guy. It's like very clearly this is an old model.
Like, it's definitely high res and it looks cool, but I just feel like I've seen this armor set redone like 6 or 7 times now. Like, how many times can they do it?
I mean, I think the answer is every time, apparently.
Of all of them, what is your all-time favorite?
Oh, well, my secret bias as a priest is the priest one, because it's fucking badass. We have wings and a halo. What the fuck?
Shredder.
I gotta say, it stinks, but I like Druid the best.
What?
But I don't want to support any Druidism. I don't want that on my permanent record.
I hate this Druid set. The headpiece what is the shape of this? Oh, you're a Worgen, so all your heads always look weird. That's gotta be it. This headpiece is bizarre. I don't
up.
get it. What is the shape?
It's got a big, cool headpiece that's better than just like a
Oh my god, you like the headpiece? That was what you
helmet.
liked?
Yeah, and it seems on brand. I think it's neat.
The shoulders are
Will
pretty
I
cool.
ever see it? No, but I think it's neat. I will say there's some other ones that I feel like are a little too much, a little too showy. The Evoker shoulders and, so sorry, Immunization, the Priest shoulders. I feel like the Priest shoulders would be a lot better if they didn't have those big wings.
Shoulders can
This
never
guy's
be too
gonna get-
showy.
This guy's going to get stuck trying to go into the bar. He won't be able to make it through the saloon doors.
Listen, they're retractable, okay?
Oh, they actually
More than
might
fair.
be. There were the ones in WoD, the Paladin ones, that would move up and down like little goofy like lever maneuvers. What if yours do that? That'd be cool.
I feel a similar way about the Demon Hunter shoulders. It looks like there's a very distinct shoulder they could have gone, and then they said, let's add an extra little blade on each side. And I don't think it's it's betterment.
The Demon Hunter tier is my least favorite set for multiple reasons. First of all, it's very clearly a Blood Elf set, and Blood Elves are not true Demon Hunters. Yeah, that's it. Fuck them. I don't want to have... So you're telling me that me and Night Elf's going to have this nasty-ass Blood Elf armor. This is Blood Elf armor, right? That's all it is. It's just cropped.
Yes.
And a little crop top. Fuck that. Oh, the monk one is bad. You can't keep giving monks this hat. Stop giving them this
hat. The monk
hat.
hat is bad. That is a bad hat. If they could have improved the hat, that would have saved this thing.
How many times are they going to put monks in this fucking hat? I just don't get it. Shaman one's cool. Shaman one's actually really fucking cool.
And I like the Hunter one too. The asymmetrical shoulder's nice.
Oh, I didn't even notice it was asymmetrical. They always get the asymmetrical shoulders, which is great because you can mix and match shoulders now, so you can have 2 big, nasty, different animal shoulders.
And I guess I will fall on the sword, or it's not even a sword, a dagger, and talking about Warlock, or specifically Elite PvP Warlock. For whatever reason, they decided to bring him to the show. It's good. It's the most midiest of all of them, in my opinion.
Well, coming with this patch is also some character changes. They've added some 4 new eye colors and 5 new hair colors for, drumroll please, the Nightborn.
The Nightborn only?
The Nightborn get 4 new eye colors and 5 new hair colors. However, somebody's also getting 4 new skin tones and 4 new hair colors. Who do you think needs skin tones the most?
The Drakthir.
Let me think here. If it's gonna be very obvious as soon as you say it, I feel like. So I don't even know where to venture a guess. It's like fucking goblins or something.
Ooh, that's actually a very good guess. I would say that they need more skin tones. I actually don't know. It's Dark Iron Dwarfs, but they only have like white, black, and then like this weird like not even like a true gray. It's like a ashen gray.
Well,
it's like I don't know.
It's tough because the fact that they are white, gray, and ashen gray is their race.
Right.
It's tough because they're an allied race, so they only look different because they are gray, white, or ashen gray.
They've added 4 new skin tones, so it's like, are those which variants of the color? Which gradient are they on? They also have 4 new hair colors. So I don't know if that's gonna be colored. If that's like blue hair or green hair. This should be weird with fire, but
I would assume it's just different vibrant colors because people are like, I want my guy to have green hair even though it's on fire, and it's like, there you go.
They've for all races they have updated the blind eye options. Blind eye options have been moved from eye color to the new eyesight customization option. Now all eye colors for all races can be customized to be blind. So you can have green blind eyes or brown blind eyes or whatever you want.
Or third blind eyes. Third eye blinds.
I wish you would step back from that ledge, my friend.
3 doors down.
But luckily, you're a Pandaren, so you have bouncy, so it's okay. You'll land and take reduced damage.
I will not do a Kentucky flip because, I will only take 85% damage.
And rounding out the pack for characters, the best update Worgans have had in a while, Calm the Wolf is now a thing you can use, which we talked about before already.
We talked about it last week. You are excited. I am not. Ash, the only other Worgen we know, is probably excited.
We discussed a lot of this class stuff. We talked about Leech. We talked about the healing thing. There's some little patches here for people. The new Evoker build is in, which I totally forgot. Evoker's 100% changing. It should be even easier now, which I'm so excited. Boy, it was easy before. Now it's going to be piss easy.
Did we talk about the healing thing on podcast, or was that just on Discord?
We did, yes.
We did.
The two of you discussed it while I watched Sweet Life on Deck.
Yes. Now it's all coming back to me. 8 new dragon riding glyphs in the Zeralite Cavern to unlock 2 new traits. Ground skimming. When dragon riding near the ground, you regenerate 1 vigor every 30 seconds. Thank God. Boy, let me tell you, I'm a ground skimmer.
Were you running out?
No, I just like skimming on the ground.
Oh, okay, I was about to say, I don't think I've ran out since like early 2023.
No, it's nice because now you don't have to. Oh, okay. Well, as somebody who's been doing the Forbidden Reach stuff, I do run out only because I'm just constantly flying from rare to rare, killing a rare, flying, killing a rare, flying, killing a rare. And I do notice that when I'm ground skimming, that's I'm like, oh man, I'm trying to like get the angle to go up a little bit and go down a little bit. It'd be nice to just have it for sure guaranteed.
I guess while we're talking about dragon riding, in one of Ian's interviews on his like media tour, he was asked about dragon riding, and he said everything that Slidewhistle just said, and then he also said that normal flying will be available in the Dragon Isles eventually, and then he was asked if dragon riding would be available elsewhere, and he said that they're talking about it internally, but they're all very, very cognizant that like if they took that step, it would change everything about WoW like forever onward. So they're very, very cautious about it.
They're not doing it. They're saying this because they want to be like, we're open-minded and we're listening. And they're like, ultimately, we decided no. That's got to be what's happening. There's no way they would do it.
I mean, I don't think they'll do it either, but yeah.
Flying ruined the world the first time. They're not going to do flying plus.
Yeah, they would. Oh my god, yeah, you're right, dude. I didn't think about it like that before.
But like, also they are listening this time around. I feel like they really are, like more so than they ever have.
Oh, for sure. But my thing is, listen, Donald Trump won the presidency of America. The people don't always know what's best for the people. Sometimes the people are wrong. Sometimes you don't need player housing. Well, you heard me, players? WoW players, you don't need it.
Is this Slidewhistle's official heel turn live on podcast?
What are you gonna fucking do? Make your bed and then leave and go do a dungeon? Like, you don't need a house to live in.
Hey,
listen, some of us just want to hang up some trophies in our den.
Have a garrison for that. Garrison does exactly that. Exactly that.
Hey, Slide, I have a huge pot of tea, and my teapot has 4 spouts. One is going into creating character. One is going into creating lore. One is going into appreciating character. But there's no 4th cup under playing character, okay? It's spilling on the floor. And this could put a cup in there.
All I'm saying is...
And also, yes, I just hit 60 on my main. Don't come at me, ooh.
Invite me to your garrison before you try to sell me on player housing, and then we'll talk gamers.
Show me the barren streets. Show me your level 1 in.
If you truly love player housing, your garrison better be bomb as shit. You better commit there and then commit to player housing later. There's some mythic changes. We are talking about all of these, bolstering and sanguine and the raging, whatever it does now. Oh, guys. Oh, my God. No. Oh, 10.1 is when the new dungeons, right? Like, in a week, we're having new dungeons. Freehold is coming, right? Bracken. I don't want to do Brackenhide, guys. Don't make me.
At least we don't ever have to fucking think about Ruby life pools ever again.
Oh, you know what? That's actually pretty nice. And a bunch of nerfs came through. A lot of changes to all these dungeons that we're going to be getting. There's like 6 or 7 changes to the Council of Captains in Freehold. They've changed them like pretty entirely.
Oh, also, DN Army, if you are a Mythic Plus person, Raider IO also just released their like season recap thing, so you can check that out. I just loaded mine earlier today, and a few notes. I was really sad that Poplo was not on it because hashtag free Poplo. I hope he's okay. Anyways, I said like we'll never have to run Ruby life pools ever again. It was by far our least run dungeon. Like we only ran that about like a 4th amount as like 25% as many times as we ran Court of Stars.
Oh my God, I gotta look up mine now. I didn't think about like seeing like the dungeon spread. That's fun.
I don't want to watch my steady growth and then intense drop off for months. So I'm going to live in ignorance. Thanks.
I have some great... Freehold's about to be even easier, guys. At least I think it is. The Ring of Booty has been changed. Lightning now... You know who Lightning is, right? The pig, the greased pig that you got to catch?
Of course, yes, the greased pig. Trust me, I have pig tech in my bones.
Well, unfortunately now, instead of needing 5 stacks to catch him, he only has 3. Everyone doesn't even get a chance to put their hands on him anymore.
I feel like with the crazy texts that we had back then, like no one it was so fast. So like I don't know if they're gonna reduce it, why don't they just like remove it if it's gonna be like competitive grease-pigged catching tech, you know?
Yeah, you're kind of right. Like, just leave. I guess the idea is with 3, they can still carry people with you know what I mean? You can still kind of do the tech.
Well, but I feel like alternate universe, there's someone out there.
Yeah.
Continue to relent, who, much like how we appreciated Boop Kid's whole speech, they're like, give us the whole pig segment. And you know what? Maybe I agree.
Yeah.
If they were to completely eliminate the pig segment, I'd be like, boo, you're go woke, go broke. I guess I understand they're being like, okay, everyone, catch the pig. Okay, move on now.
It was so fun. It just adds that like, oh, I need more of that. Most importantly, Ludwig von Tortolin's health has been reduced by 25%. Thank fucking God, dude. Ludwig had so much health.
Oh, that's great news. But I also want to already make a redaction. Aaron's argument about Poop Kid made me completely view this in a different light. I am wrong. Yes. Give us 7 stacks of the greased pig, please.
That's my thing. There's still time. It's what, a week away? Ian, you're listening right now. Lean into your mic or lean into your computer. Take away Ludwig. You don't want him. We don't want him. Fuck him. Make lightning the pig require 9 stacks.
Yes.
Let's grab this pig a lot more, and then we can just fast track to the shark puncher.
They even nerfed Shark Puncher, by the way. His tornado is now 3 seconds instead of 6 seconds. It's half as long.
So what I'm hearing is get rid of the shark puncher, just pick up lightning the pig 27 times, and then we get to move on.
Hear me out. Give Lightning the Pig a health bar that is decreased every time you catch him until it's 0. And, like, I'm not saying, like, it has to be, but maybe you need to catch him 50 times. Remove all the other bosses.
Hey, I'm in.
It just starts radiating out from there. Council of Captains, who cares? Add 20 to the counter. Skycap and Crag? Well, like, Skycap and Skip him to get more pig time.
There's a lot of changes here. We can't possibly go through them all, but you can find these wherever you are. The trinkets have been nerfed from season 1. Professions have been boosted. A lot of the items that weren't doing so hot now provide more stamina. Immune Frozen Spell Thread now provides 25% more stamina. People are gonna want this shit even more so than before. Tons of recipe changes, like tons. Like, if you are a crafter, check your shit in a week because everything is gonna be different. The shoes that I make for myself, my beautiful acidic hailstone treads, damage has been increased by 118%. That's a big fucking number.
That really is.
Check. They nerf Lariat. Holy shit, they nerf Lariat. I didn't even see this. Elemental Lariat duration changed to 5 seconds, was 12 seconds. So, like, even the buff you get has been decreased. That's good news. Fuck you, Jewel Crafters.
Damn, Slide really is working heal today.
War mode update, Aaron.
Oh boy. Oh gosh, tell me what it is.
It's honestly not that good. It's just like different gear and where you can get gear from. And the net you can now use the Netomatic in all areas outside the Dragon Isles, but not inside the Dragon Isle zones. Oh God, they changed.
My favorite thing about the Netomatic and Dragonflight is everyone's so fucking fast that it's like, I'm gonna Netomatic you, and it's like they're a country mile away. It's like, well, you didn't really think this one through, huh?
Real talk, boys. Am I the only one that has, like, fallen off of war mode hard in Dragonflight?
I mean, I don't blame you. You're a fucking holy priest. Like, what are you gonna do? I've seen you play in war mode. This man will heal himself for 25 minutes as 2 men beat on him. As I'm like, I'm coming. I'm gonna log on. And then he's like, no, they're gonna get bored. Don't worry. And I'm like, they're gonna get bored. It's in 25 minutes.
And they get bored. I mean, I get bored. I fall asleep just like spam healing myself, and then like wake up and maybe they're gone, or maybe we're still fighting. I don't know.
My big thing about war mode is it lacks the us versus them atmosphere. The only time I'm ever doing war mode quests is a free for all zone, and like I don't care at that point because it's me versus 50 million people. It's just me sitting next to the border of like the world quest, throwing fireballs, just trying to get people.
Yeah.
I need more against overwhelming odds back.
I feel like, yeah, that's a very distinctly like Dragonflight war mode thing, right? Where I feel like that's just the tech where like people stand on the edge, dip in, try to like kill somebody who's low, and then dip out when they start to get low.
All I'm saying is give us, and I know it's antithetical to what they're trying to do right now, but give us back this shit where it was just like Alliance versus Horde. Go and punch them anywhere.
So there's one last bit of news that I want to talk about before we head on into our closing segments here, and It is about the 10.1 Twitch drops. In particular, they are announcing that we will be getting the Blazing Hippogriff and the Ethereal Portal Hearthstone.
So, Blazing Hippogriff, was this BC? It definitely seems like they're just starting from the bottom and just taking all of the exclusive, all of the fancy things, and making those Twitch drops. So, eventually, are we going to start getting some good stuff?
I'm not sure. I've been trying to figure out, like, what is the order of they're going through, and I'm pretty sure I figured it out. I think they're going from bottom to top of like least used items in like current day and age, going backwards, because like I've never seen an ethereal Hearthstone in the wild. I think I've seen it maybe one time like 4 years ago. I've seen about 12 to 15 Dark Portal Hearthstones, and we spin together as we hearth. Never seen an ethereal. So I do think it truly is going from like, okay, well, this one's easy to give away because people won't be mad at us, which is why Bananas was given away, because who pre-ordered BC? Nobody.
I'm sorry, but like, what is Bananas?
Nobody has them.
Exactly.
But like, I guess it's in the same vein. Ian basically said that the Spectral Tiger is very unlikely to ever be part of this. I think that probably because there would be a lot of backlash about that one.
Okay, but like, again, I think he's mostly saying it because he's tired of hearing it from people, much like the what was it, power creep? No, not power creep.
The borrowed power.
Because this is the other thing that from guildies, from random people on Discords, from the message boards, are just like, well, China had the Spectral Tiger, and that means it's not rare. And it's like, it didn't exist in China. It didn't exist in China. There's one answer. It did not exist in China. They didn't have it. So that he's probably just being like, it's not coming. Calm the fuck down. The number 2 ask behind this is definitely the rocket chicken. People want the rocket chicken, and I can't blame them. It's unique. It's literally a chicken with 2 Wowhead rockets strapped to its side. Like, it's cool as fuck. I don't think that's ever going to come either. I'm very certain in saying that. If they did, it'd be for like a expansion Twitch Day drop. But I will say, Ian is 100% confirmed a podcast listener, because I said on a previous episode, I'm okay with them putting up the Dark Portal Hearthstone as long as I can get my hands on the Ethereal Hearthstone, and it's coming. So Ian, he knows what he's doing. The next one after this one is going to be the fucking Dark Portal Hearthstone, and it'll be fine.
Well, let it be known that when I do earn it through streaming at twitch.tv/AaronDNR, I will make sure to not use it, because when it comes to the plebeians, it's no longer important.
It's true. It's very true.
I can confidently say, and a lot of it is just because they've been flying mounts and we're in Dragonflight. I have actually not used any of the Twitch drops that I have accumulated.
Weather Machine?
All this time.
The Weather Machine, you haven't used that one? That one's cool.
No. I need to use that. I need to use Disco. Like, toys I should be using, but the Hippogriff we got like 3 months ago, the Fell Drake, haven't seen them.
Actually,
just because we're in Dragonflight.
I've actually used the Fell Drake in PvP when I'm like running into like a flag. That's the only time I've ever used it. It's kind of sad, really. And now it's time for our top 2, bottom boot, medium moot. I'll kick us off this week with a big fat bottom boot.
Boo.
Madam Goya, what the fuck are you running? What scam are you running with this black market auction house?
Oh no, what's happening over there?
I thought you meant like the Madame of the Goya, like bean company.
Same. I was like, I mean, I know they were wheeling and dealing with Trump, but like, what else are they doing?
Oh no, she's running a shady bean business under the fucking daycare in Beldraken. I have been trying to spend my millions of gold. I've actively been trying to become poor again like everybody else. I have been bidding millions of dollars, millions of gold on the black market auction house crates. I want one. I want to open one. In these crates could be anything from a rocket chicken to a piece of gear you can't even put on. And I just want to gamble and roll the dice once and see what I fucking get out of this. I have not been able to secure the bag. And the black market, I get it. They make it like hard on purpose. You have to fly to her and visit her. You have to bid. And then that's it. You have to just wait for an undetermined amount of time. You know how like Buffalo Wild Wings has moved on from like, you can get 6 wings, so you can get a handful of wings. That it tells you for time remaining. It's like you have between 2 and 20 hours. I'm like, what? Like, I can't be around this whole time. Every week I've tried to win at least 3 to 4 black market auction house containers. Not successful. It's not possible. We're at the end of a patch. Who's playing? I think I'm being bamboozled by Ian and the powers that be.
I mean, I think you are. Yeah, there's a conspiracy here. They're conspiring. Them bitches are conspiring against you, Slide.
Them bitches conspiring. Says Christmas.
Did you know that Madame Goya left Pandaria to go to the Ring of Blood in Nagrand and Wad and has yet to leave there, according to
No,
WoW
she
Wiki?
left. She left. She's nowhere now. She
Oh,
only
she
only
did?
exists
Wow.
in Veldraken. I know this because I do have confirmation that there was one man who was bidding against me, and we were bidding at the same time on the same shard. And I'm forever mad at myself for this. I put down my Katie stamp whistle in that room. And the man who was outbidding me was using my Katie stamp whistle to reclaim his gold, to rebid against me, because you can do that.
Wow, this is another shout out to WoW Wiki for being a nothing site. Way to make me say a lie.
I tried to go to Borealis to use the old Madame Goy in Borealis, and I got there, and it was like, she moved. And I'm like, no, she's nowhere but here. I tried all of her spots.
Oh, I was going to ask, did you check Revendreth then?
Yes, once I googled it, it said Madame Goya is gone from all locations. She's now only in Veldraken. And I'm like, fuck.
I love looking at the comments on her Wowpedia, and it's just every 2 years someone's like, new thing, she's here. And then someone goes, wasn't she here? And it's like, no, she's gone.
I mean,
she's
guys,
she's
come
a
on, what do
slippery
you
little eel.
expect? Like, there is the black market auction house. She runs it. It moves every expansion. Why are we doing this every 2 years?
Honestly, the fact that I even tried it, I was embarrassed that I tried to go back to Borealis. I'm like, oh man.
Well, I mean, like, I could totally see Blizzard being like, oh, whatever, we'll just leave her at all the locations. But, like, once I figured out that, like, that she wasn't there, then I'd be like, okay, she moved.
They want the drama of you looking into the eyes of the aggressor who's going, yep, as he outbids you in the fucking market. What about you, Aaron? What's your top two bottom boot?
Mine's pretty good, so I'm gonna let Immune go next.
What the fuck? Wait, is that allowed? You can't just pass? You just passed?
I think I just passed.
Well, I've activated my trap card. And by that, I mean I have a top two.
Toot.
And my top two is that, y'all, I'm going to take the easy out here. I mean, but, like, also, this new patch is, like, snuck the fuck up on us. It's, like, mere days away at this point.
Is your top two the fact that new content's coming next week?
Yes, Aaron, I'm kind
fucked
of bored,
me.
okay?
You ruined me. Ah! Hold on,
I guess that's why it was a trap card. Like, you had the opportunity. You could have done this.
I need to dive into my papers and things. Hold on, continue.
Well, yes, I'm very excited about everything that 10.1 has to offer. I'm excited for New Zone, although, as we mentioned, I am fairly confident that Veldraken will be a shit show because of it. Like, we will not be able to log in, is my prediction. But I am excited for new story, new zone, new Mythic Plus dungeons, the whole shebang. I'm very excited. I feel like I'm not taking a break from WoW, but my time in WoW has gone down over the last few weeks because I feel like I was. What Slide said, like, last week or the week before that was, like, kind of true. I feel like when they officially announced when 10.1 was coming, my interest in playing went down because I realized that I had, like, achieved most of the things I wanted with, like, the current patch. So I would just log in and do, like, a few dailies here and there, and I like, stopped raiding even this last week, and that felt kind of weird.
Well, hear ye, to new content. But that leads me to my all-important final TTBBMM.
What is it?
Well, you know what? Immune went and took my easy ace in the hole there, so I'm going to say this is a brief little foray into Underwatch. I'm going to give my top two to Blizzard's Switch port of Overwatch 2.
Well, it kind of saved your ass this weekend.
It really did, yeah. I was visiting my boys in Chicago, and I tried to download Overwatch 2 onto my old laptop, and it just wouldn't. So guess what I had was my Nintendo Switch. And if you've ever held a Nintendo Switch, this thing cannot run anything more advanced than like an N64 game without physically shaking and smoking in your hands. And yet, it managed to do it well enough. So I don't know what magic you have over there, Blizzard, that literally no one else who is making Switch ports have, but it wasn't laggy. It worked well enough. Like, it felt like 75, 80% like it does on the computer. Wowzer zowzer, you guys actually managed to do it. Thanks.
Also, they fixed Lifeweaver. He feels really good to play now.
He does feel good to play now, but my crickety crunkety self got used to his old ways, so now I need to get used to him. People get mad at me because I keep throwing flowers on the ground, and I was like, it used to be a different button. But speaking of different, this week's $5 a month patrons might sound a little different because I'll do them in a funny voice.
We have Command Sergeant Major Tashurla, fourth host of the podcast, Monkey, Ahoy Vince, Ensync/Drag Race, Azarin, Digital Dave, Mitch, who wants to remind everyone that Rathion isn't daddy, he's a literal child, Crucifix, Saracen Hawk, Sasha Sends Soup, Big Fat Ugly Bug-Faced Baby Eating Adorno says Ari, Baby Gersh Myth Gersh, Wooly, Big Bear 13, Muv, Adam N, Ickis, Novadork, SSDB, Same Soup, Different Bowl, Vanderlyle, D. Gibson, Generational Talent, Smurf to Base God, Slidewhistle says.
Fuck Craig.
And for no particular reason, not because it's an old sound clip or anything, this last one I'm going to do with my normal voice. And Will, a.k.a. Tire, Trade Chat's fallen father.
And with that, we're out of here. We'll see you kits, cats, and kitties next week in the... almost the Forbidden Reach. And 10.1 new patch. Maybe we'll have some new listeners who, if you made it this far, honestly, congratulations. You stomached it.
Yeah, this one was a toughie, but don't worry, shit's coming next week.
This shit was easy. It was a good one. We just got off the fucking racket here. You guys can find us at donotroulettepod@gmail.com. You can send us an email. Send me an email at navarrocoffin@gmail.com. You guys can join the Discord at donotροulette.com. What about you guys? Where can they find you on the internet?
You can find me, Alex or Immunization, on Twitter at NewEraAlex. You can find our podcast Instagram account on the gram at Do Not Relent.
You can find me, Aaron the Human, at TheBigAcheesy on Twitter.com. Read the show's literary musings at DoNotRelent.livejournal.com. And of course, watch me play videograms at twitch.tv/AaronDNR.
You guys hear that whisper in the wind? Right, it's Jeff Hardy back to crash another fucking car into a building. I can't believe he's fucking wrestling again. We're out of here.
Another down. Do not relent.
Ugh.
Do Not Relent is a podcast within the 3HNC network, representing U.S. Proudmore's premier podcasts.
That was a very good wish.